All right, everyone, Republicans love to lose, and so when Chuck Schumer proposes a $1.2 trillion omnibus to keep the government open when you could just let it shut down and play brinksmanship, the Republicans decided to pass the omnibus bill, and it includes such winners as a gay retirement home and promotion of transgendering the youth. I wish that were hyperbole, by the way. Marjorie Taylor Greene introduced the proposal to boot Speaker Johnson earlier. The problem was this. I'm amenable to the concept. I understand. The omnibus bill should not have been passed. This is effectively Chuck Schumer's budget that the Republicans just greenlighted, and they're crazy for doing so. The problem is that your majority in the House is like 2 seats at this point. And so it's not clear that if you did boot Johnson, and you probably don't have the votes to do that anyway, the Democrats might help you. It might be another Matt Gaetz moment, but that's not going to go over too well, I think, with the lay Republican crowd. The problem is you probably end up with Speaker Hakeem Jeffries at that point. Frustrated neocons within the House, neocon Republicans, might sign on with the Democrats in order to mint Hakeem Jeffries as Speaker. So you could have a bizarre moment where the House Speaker is a Democrat while the House is technically controlled by the Republicans. But they have no control. They have no order, no decorum. They have no balls either. Marjorie Taylor Greene has more balls than most of the male Republicans in Congress. Fucking Representative Luna for Speaker. Yeah, I'd go with that. Get Lauren Boebert in there or something like that, but that's not going to happen. It's not clear exactly what remedy the American people at this point have with... we've got a Democratic Party that constantly wants to spend more and more and more and pass a bunch of bullshit that makes no sense. We've got a Republican Party that doesn't really stand in their way. We've got a minority of those Republicans that actually believe in some degree of populism, some degree of liberty, and that's basically all we've got right now. This is why we definitely need to canvass for pro-liberty candidates, not just for the presidency. I do want to re-elect Donald Trump because at least at the executive level, then you'd have some sanity back in the White House. The adults back in charge are slow adults, you will notice, under the Biden regime. But that's not going to magically improve the House Republicans. We need more Boeberts and Lunas and a lot less of the dross and bullshit that we see in the House. You just passed a $1.2 trillion continued spending bill, omnibus, which was largely authored by the liberals. Well then, I mean, why bother voting for the Republicans if they're just going to greenlight that horseshit? There are a handful of them that stood in the way. Some House Republicans voted against it. Some senators as well, like Rand Paul. Of course they're not going to vote in favor of that bullshit. Those are the ones that can be trusted. Basically, if you look at a laundry list of everyone that voted against the omnibus, those are the good guys. And everyone else is the bad guys. I hate to be reductionist, but that's basically how it falls at this point. Links in the description. When I saw this, I was like, are you nuts? Strategically speaking, we'll go past the omnibus itself because it's bullshit. Strategically speaking, you control the House of Representatives. And yet, despite that fact, you decided to vote for a bill that effectively was 90% Chuck Schumer's idea. Well, then I guess he controls Congress now. He must be very happy. Pelosi's no longer in the limelight, and he is. He no longer has to play lapdog, and so now he can play the big boy or something like that. And it seems to be his goal. And I was looking at the proposals there. Marjorie Taylor Greene outlined some of them. It's crazy. None of those excessive pork barrel sort of spending inclusions are necessary for the economy to continue to function. They're simply not necessary. If you're going to have an omnibus to, and not have to pass a mainline budget, just to keep the government open, okay, that's perfectly fine. Why not strip it down? Why was no real attempt made to strip this down? You saw a picture of the omnibus. It's a stack of papers. It's this thick. It's like almost a foot thick. It makes no sense whatsoever. So you know what? Fuck the Republican Party. I'll support Trump, and I'll support people like Rand Paul and Thomas Massie and Luna and those that actually do their job, but the Republican Party is a mess. Again, you're handed a victory. You're capable of shutting down the government, saying, well, you haven't offered us a bill that we can, in good faith, actually sign. Instead, they decide to cuck, and they sign it anyway, and it's just inexplicable. The Republicans are real good at doing that, by the way. The Democrats, they hold the line. They may have shitty ideas that are evil, but at least they have each other's backs. They circle the wagons, they hold the line, and there's some organizational capacity there. The Republican Party appears to lack this systemically. You've got organization among, like, the MAGA caucus, and that's basically all you have. The neocons, they run around like chickens with their heads cut off, and they end up passing this monstrosity. The hell are you being elected for? It's like all the Cornines and Romneys in the party. They just clutter it up. It's like the party has cancer or something like that. That's about all. Peace out.